home runs, grand slams, upsets, and more coming at you right after this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching. I'm glad you're watching. I'm Caroline Haney with 5 Things Sports, bringing you 5 sports highlights for the week of September 4th through September 10th, 2017. There has been so much going on in the sports world this week. I'm so excited to tell you about all of it, so let's get started. Number 1 this week, I've got some MLB records to tell you about. First up, JD Martinez of the Arizona Diamondbacks this past Labor Day certainly was doing a lot of laboring of his own. Martinez hit 4 home runs in a single game on Monday night. It's the 3rd most uncommon MLB feat behind the 20 strikeout game and the unassisted triple play, but ahead of the perfect game and the no-hitter. Also this week, the Cleveland Indians are winning their way into the record books. They became the first team in 15 years to win 15 straight games, the first team in 60 years to go 11-0 on a road trip, and the 3rd team in the last 50 seasons to win 16 games in a row. As of Saturday night, September 9th, they have the 2nd longest MLB win streak in 50 years with 17 straight wins. This puts them behind only the Oakland A's in 2002, who had 20 wins. With the playoffs right around the corner and them leading the division, they have picked a great time to heat up. So I'll keep you posted to see if they carry that momentum into the playoffs this year. Number 2, the U.S. Open wrapped up this week. This is the first time in 36 years that the final 4 women left in the semifinals were all Americans. Just to put things in perspective, only one of these women was alive the last time that happened. I'll let you figure out which one that was. But only one could win, and looky there, it's Sloane Stephens that we told you about last week. Now, if you watched the show last week and you put some money on Sloane Stephens to win, comment below and I'll leave you my PayPal information for you to send me my cut of the winnings. It's only fair. Stephens beat her good friend Madison Keys 6-3, 6-0 to win the title. And if you haven't seen the video where she finds out how much her winnings are, I will leave that in the description below. It's worth the watch. It's really funny. The men's final was Sunday afternoon between Rafael Nadal of Spain, who has 2 U.S. Opens, 14 total Grand Slam titles, and actually just won the French Open this year, and Kevin Anderson of South Africa, who has never made it past the 4th round in a Grand Slam event. Talking about your underdog, well, as we are recording this, the men are still playing, so I don't know who the winner is, but because of movie magic, I'll put the winner right here for you. How about that? Number 3 this week. Our 3rd story this week is still developing, but it's still an important story, and it'll probably take several weeks to fully play out. And it involves the infamous rivalry between the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. It came to light this week that the New York Yankees filed a complaint with the MLB Commissioner's office alleging that the Red Sox had used technology to sign steal. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with baseball, sign stealing is typically when there's a runner on, he tries to pick off the catcher's signs that he's given to the pitcher to find which pitch the pitcher is going to throw or where the pitch is going to be. Now, sign stealing actually isn't illegal. It's something all the teams do to try to get a little edge over their opponents. However, it is illegal to use technology. Now, the Yankees filed with their complaint video evidence of the Red Sox supposed use of technology in this. Supposedly, the Red Sox had someone in a replay room watching video footage and then sending the signs down via Apple Watch to an athletic trainer in the dugout, who would then pass it on to players, who would then pass it on to players on the field. Now, if this sounds a little bit complicated to you, yeah, it's pretty complicated. It's like a really complicated version of the game telephone that you played as a kid. But then you actually have to hit the ball after you find out what the sign supposedly is. Now, the Red Sox fired back after the Yankees' complaint with a complaint of their own, with their own video evidence of the Yankees using their video system to also steal signs. Now, if you're going to complain about cheaters, you probably shouldn't be cheating yourself. Now, the MLB Commissioner's Office is doing an investigation, and the only statements they've really released so far say sign stealing's okay, using technology to do it is not okay, and that they're doing an investigation. So no punishments have been handed down. Some are asking that some of the Red Sox wins be vacated, but it's most likely not going to happen because of the close division race between the Yankees and the Red Sox. I will keep you up to date in the future with anything that comes to light after this recording, so stay tuned for that. So this brings me to the question of the week. What do you think? Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? The Red Sox, the Yankees? Is it okay to use some technology to steal signs if everybody else is doing it? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And number 4 this week. The NFL season kicked off this week, and boy, do we have a major upset in the first week. The defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots, playing at home against the Kansas City Chiefs, got upset in week 1. Who saw that coming except the Kansas City Chiefs fans who thought they were going to win anyway? Chiefs rookie running back Kareem Hunt actually fumbled on his first ever NFL carry, but he bounced back quickly for 3 touchdowns and 246 yards. This is an NFL record for an NFL debut. Chiefs quarterback Alex Smith also had quite the night for himself, going 28 for 35, 368 yards with 4 touchdowns. Tom Brady, on the other hand, was a disappointing 16 for 36, 267 yards and no touchdowns, and all the Brady haters rejoiced. The Houston Texans were able to play at home today, hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. J.J. Watt took the field to huge applause after he championed the cause to raise money for Hurricane Harvey victims. Unfortunately, that was probably the highlight of the day, as the Texans didn't do that great. They lost to the Jaguars 29-7. And now over to a different Watt brother. T.J. Watt, J.J. Watt's little brother, made his debut for the Steelers today. He had 7 tackles, 2 sacks, and 1 interception in the Steelers win. It'll be great to see how he progresses throughout the year. Now, because most of the NFL games are played on Sunday and this show is recorded on Sunday, it makes it a little hard to cover most of them. I'm still working out the details of that. So for right now, all of the Monday and Thursday night games will be covered the following Sunday, and I'll try to get as many Sunday details in as possible. If there are highlights that I missed throughout the week, I'm going to put them on my Twitter account at 5thingssports. So be sure to follow me there so you can keep up to date with the NFL Sunday highlights until we work out exactly the details of how we're going to cover them in the episode as well. Number 5 this week. College football was in its second week this week, and here are some of the highlights from the top 25 teams. The headline game for the day was number 2 Ohio State hosting number 5 Oklahoma. Sooners quarterback Baker Mayfield led his team to a 31-16 win over the Buckeyes. Number 3 Clemson beat number 13 Auburn at home in Death Valley this week. This was a historic win for the school, as it was the 6th straight victory for the Tigers over a ranked opponent. Number 6 Southern Cal beat number 14 Stanford 42-24 for their 11th straight win. Number 15 Georgia went to South Bend to take on the 24th ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, where they squeaked out a 20-19 win. And number 17 Louisville, led by Heisman quarterback Lamar Jackson, won a shootout with North Carolina 47-35. Jackson was 25 for 39 on the day with 525 total yards of offense, threw for 3 touchdowns and ran for 3 touchdowns. I'd say he is definitely building another Heisman resume. Finally, Florida State dropped to number 10 this week after losing to Alabama. Unfortunately, their game against the University of Louisiana Monroe was canceled this week due to Hurricane Irma. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers are with all of those who've been affected by hurricanes this season. And finally this week in extra innings, a little redemption for Nationals center fielder Michael Taylor. Back in 2015, Taylor misjudged a ball in the outfield that led to an inside the park grand slam. But this week it was Taylor who was touching all the bases.
And Taylor checks one to center. Misjudged by Herrera. At least 3 runs are going to score. Maybe 4. Bob Henley sends him. The throw home. And Michael A. Taylor comes all the way around.
His inside the park grand slam proved to be crucial in the Nats' 11-10 win over the Phillies Friday night. There's a link in the description below to more awesome things that happened in the MLB this week. Be sure to check it out as well. That's all for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you missed last week's episode, be sure to check it out right here. And if it's your first time with us, be sure to subscribe, and I'll keep you up to date on the 5 sports highlights each and every week. Thanks again for watching. I'm Caroline Haney with 5 Things Sports, and I'll see you next week.